So the votes are in. The Space Goths have won. Everyone likes calling Dead Orbit fans Space Goths, man. I'm actually a Dead Orbit guy myself. I'll probably get some hate for that in the comment section. I've enjoyed Dead Orbit since Vanilla Destiny, man. Although, I did put pretty much equal amounts of reputation into each faction in the rally, so don't go blaming me. The big question, though, is, should you put your hard-earned 50k Glimmer into Dead Orbit to pick this thing up? Of course, many people are actually pledged to multiple factions if they have multiple characters. If you have just one character, though, and you pledge to a faction that wasn't Dead Orbit, you're gonna have to sink some serious Glimmer to pick up this wonderful, wonderful looking scout rifle right here. I really love how this scout looks. I mean, it is basically call to serve with the Dead Orbit logo on the side. But I wanted to ask, what do you guys think? Are you gonna reluctantly pick this weapon up? Are you happy the Dead Orbit won? Are you glad to be getting this thing? I honestly really kind of wanted the FWC Pulse Rifle. It looked pretty beastly, but Dead Orbit have their moment right here in the sun, which they need because they're all pretty pale. So Haunted Earth then, high impact frame, slow firing and high damage. The weapon is more accurate when stationary and aiming down sights. We have sight options of IS-5 circle. We also have the Model 6 loop, which looks a little bit like that. We've got tactical mag. The weapon has multiple tactical improvements, slightly increases stability, reload speed, and increases magazine size. And then we also have high caliber rounds. And as you can see, we lose a bit of stability, reload speed, and you lose one out of the mag as well. We also have field prep, increased ammo reserves, faster reload when crouched. So first things first, this is the slow rate of fire scout rifle archetype, ultra high impact, ultra slow firing. It sits in the same archetype as Frontier Justice as well as the Song of Justice. We're actually going to need to take a look at those in just a second. But in general, this scout rifle handles okay, you know, it's a little bit more sluggish than something like Nameless Midnight. Obviously the handling isn't as good because it is a much lower rate of fire, higher impact type of scout. It does very, very well at long range. Of course, this is a long range archetype in general. It's not a class of scout rifles that I've ever been super impressed by in general. Apart from when we had combined arms, they were really fun, the kind of low rate of fire scouts in things like combined arms, which was like a really large scale PvP kind of environment. But outside of that, for PvE and PvP in general, I've not found this archetype super exciting. That kind of carries over to Destiny 2. As far as the perks go on this thing, of course, tactical mag gives you a bunch of improvements all at the same time, which is pretty beneficial. We also have high caliber rounds. And there's some mixed opinions about high caliber rounds on this kind of scout rifle. Some people really like it. Some people say it doesn't do anything because they fire too slow. It does actually do something. What it's actually going to do, PvP is kind of the best example, is increase the flinch that the weapon actually causes to the target that's hit by the weapon. And this is on any archetype of weapon that has high caliber rounds. It will actually increase the screen shake, so it is going to throw their aim off more. Granted, it is generally better on automatic weapons, things that fire a bit faster. You'll definitely notice the effects of it more, but it's still a thing on slower firing weapons as well. This thing also has field prep, increased ammo reserves, faster reload when crouched, so you are going to carry more ammo in reserve. As far as the faster reload while crouched, you can see right here I get a reload while crouched, and then another one while standing up. It is noticeably quicker when you're kind of crouching. Is it fantastic? Honestly, I don't really think it is. None of the bonuses on the scout rifle get me all that excited, to be honest with you. I'd really like to see things like explosive payload or explosive rounds on this kind of scout. Even bonuses like reactive reload could be kind of fun, outlaw and things like that. And honestly, in PvE stuff, despite the fact that this has better range, I feel like most of the time Nameless Midnight would be the better option. Of course, you have Call to Serve as well, which is actually the same basic weapon model as this to look at, and that has triple tap and is also in the Nameless Midnight archetype. And honestly, I would say that that is a better scout rifle for PvE as well. And that carries over to the Crucible. I don't really feel like there is a place for this archetype of scout in PvP right now. Obviously, it's full of auto rifles, other scout rifles like Mida that do a ton of flinch and fire very quickly, and it makes landing your shots with this thing much more difficult to do. And you'll also find that there aren't that many extremely long range engagements in the Crucible nowadays. So honestly, versus other scout rifles, I don't think this thing is that fantastic. Let's take a look at a couple of other examples of scout rifle in this archetype though. You have Song of Justice, which is the new Monarchy scout. With this weapon, you have armor piercing rounds where they cause extra damage to combatant shields and over penetrate targets while boosting range. You have extended mag as well, and then auto-loading holster. The holstered weapon is automatically reloaded after a short period of time. We also have Frontier Justice right here. This again is high impact frame. We've got alloy magazine, so faster reloads when the mag is empty. Tactical mag, which is multiple improvements once again, and then Zen Moment, causing damage with a weapon increases its stability. So comparing some of the perks that you'll see on other scout rifles in this archetype, they're all of a kind of similar ilk. There's nothing super exciting about those bonuses. I haven't used Frontier Justice, but with Zen Moment it might be a little bit better in the Crucible. Otherwise I wouldn't necessarily say that the Dead Orbit Scout is any worse than the other weapons in this archetype, or the other kind of key weapons at least. So my verdict is that I think it's not the most exciting scout rifle in the world. It is one of a smaller number of scout rifles you'll find in that particular archetype, and it doesn't necessarily have worse bonuses than other scout rifles in that class. If you simply want the weapon for the collection, or you want to use it because you think it looks cool or feels awesome, then absolutely, that is a valid reason to use a weapon in my opinion. We are playing a video game after all. And those are pretty much my thoughts on this scout rifle. I don't want to tell anybody they should or shouldn't pick up this weapon. Perhaps hearing some of my thoughts will make your decision easier, but I'd definitely be curious to hear what you think in the comment section. Are you going to pick this thing up, or right now are you thinking, F you, Dead Orbit, I'm not gonna go there, I don't swear in YouTube videos. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Definitely interesting to see how people are reacting to this. If you have enjoyed the video though, a like is appreciated below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more Destiny 2 content. But for now, thanks a lot for watching guys, and I'll catch you very soon.